You're going to be on The Voice, dude. You're one of Camilla's battle advisors that you did the
Yeah.
filming. What do you try to instill in contestants?
I'm trying to instill the advice of you don't have to overthink things. Don't force notes out. Keep your voice dopey. Don't be nervous about singing in front of me.
What's going on? My name is Brew. This is another Audacy check-in with the one and only Charlie Puth. It's like catching up with an old friend every time. How you doing, man?
Absolutely. That voice sounds so familiar to me now. We are TikTok buddies.
Yeah, strictly TikTok though. Outside in real world, no chance.
No, not happening at all.
But dude, the album is officially out. I feel like, man, this has been a buildup of so many things for so long. I mean, how does it feel? The album's here. And first of all, my first question though, are you at a point where you're so self-righteous that you had to name it like Charlie?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very narcissistic. No, a lot of people don't know my label head, Julie Greenwald, shout out Julie, named my album because she kind of knew that this was going to be, when I started the album a year ago, it was going to be my most personal work yet. All produced by me. A lot of situations where I had to be alone and make all of these songs. I just did it 12 times, and for it to be out into the world, it's a great feeling.
I listened to the full thing all the way this morning, dude. It's so exciting. Like songs we've seen on TikTok that are in there mixed in with new stuff. And it's just a cool, beautiful piece of art. So it's so nice to finally have it, out in the world. And you mentioned it being, your most personal album. What does that mean? Is that like getting vulnerable with yourself and making like the most, I guess, intimate type of songs you've ever done? Definitely
that. But just, it really is about the audience. This album is about my fans and having them familiar with every song before the album came out. I mean, the album's out now, but hopefully they feel like when they listen to Smells Like Me or Charlie Be Quiet, they feel like they wrote the song with me because they saw all the internet content and heard its early beginning stages.
Wow. And what makes it that way? Is it like a new comfort level you're finding like at this stage in your career?
Well, I mean, it partially came at my way of showcasing my music early on, and releasing the amount of songs that I did before the album even dropped was because I lacked something that helped me make music originally, which was performing in front of my fans and then going backstage and going on this computer and making a beat and coming up with a song. So I had to perform for them in a different way since we weren't going on tour anytime soon.
With the new album out, what's something maybe unique about it compared to your others? I mean, we talked about it being the most personal one, but is there anything technically or something you did different this time that's unique compared to your others?
I would say the use of taking two polar opposites, combining them together and making a song out of that. Take let's say a Light Switch, for example. It was unusually fast. It was fast, like a System of a Down record from 2005. But the thing about those Rick Rubin produced System of a Down records, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to listen to it. Anybody listening to this now, is that it maintained that high energy when it went halftime. And I wanted to grab that, not rip that song off, but just grab that energy of a really high, intense guitar-based song that goes halftime, take that facet, and then combine it with all this shit that I usually put in my music, all the synths and the lushness, combine the two together, and then out comes like a baby, a new song called Light Switch in a way that you've never heard me before. So I basically just did that 11 times on the self-produced album.
Technical stuff, gets better over time. What about dating? Does that get easier over time?
It does get easier over time, but I don't even do it right now. I just it's too much to I'm only ready to give myself when I know I have the mind capacity to expand it, and I know that I'm very focused on myself at this moment.
Hey, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
When we talk about which one's sadder in the situation, is it teardrops on a guitar or teardrops on a piano? Like, which one is more depressing?
I think teardrops on my guitar is more of a ugly crier.
Oh, that's so true. Because you know,
It
you gotta
is.
hold it weird. You're not like you can't bend over like a piano, you know. You're
I
like,
know. I'm like, Taylor, fuck me up, please. But I think maybe my song "Tears on My Piano" is more of a maybe a melancholic, light
Mm,
mist of a cry because it has kind of this Kid Cudi uplifting
it's
beat
cool.
behind
You
it.
know,
Yeah,
yeah, it's cool to cry on your piano.
yeah, it's cool to cry on my piano. Messy. You got to Windex it though. A lot of
Oh,
slippery
it's
fingers.
yeah, slipping off the keys. Can't have it.
No, can't have it. But that's actually when in I was thinking about that when I was writing the song. That's why the piano part in that song, we're talking about track 10 on Tears on My Piano. The piano part sounds kind of messy. And
Mm,
that's on purpose because that's how a piano in my mind would sound if it were covered in water. Tears.
wow, that's so interesting. I was thinking like if your eyes were, because I thought the same thing too. I was like, I wonder if his eyes are water and he can't see the keys, and that's why it sounds like it's kind of muddled. But it's if the keyboard was wet, huh?
Yeah, the keyboard's literally wet and the piano part sounds sloppy as a result of it being wet from you crying about somebody who you're writing about. Jesus.
Jesus, this whole thing's depressing, man. What are we gonna say?
This is a sad album. I recommend you not listen to it.
No, it comes to a good point at the end because you have no more drama.
That's right.
Is the last song. Is that like did you find peace after making this whole thing?
That's exactly why I put that at the end. That's hilarious. It was the start of the manipulation. And at the end, I got out unscathed.
You won.
I won.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, that wraps up our album part. I want to ask you a couple quick questions, like unrelated, before we wrap up. You're gonna be on The Voice, dude. You're one of Camilla's battle advisors that you did the
Yeah.
filming. What do you try to instill in contestants in a space like that? I feel like it's, you don't have much time. Like, how do you get to them and talk to them and give them advice?
I'm trying to instill the advice of you don't have to overthink things. Don't force notes out. Keep your voice dopey. Don't be nervous about singing in front of me. I mean, maybe easier said than done, but
Mhm.
it's really just about showcasing your voice. It's literally called The Voice.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. I feel like you'd be the best person to have as a coach because of just you're so knowledgeable in all facets of music. Your favorite song right now out is "Super Freaky Girl," Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, I love
You're jamming to. Why?
I love how it sounds. I love that Nicki's been doing this for a really long time and is still just on top. It's very inspiring for me as someone who hasn't been doing it for as long as her, but I hope that I can have success throughout my career as much as she has had. So it's
She's the
very
queen.
inspiring for me.
Absolute queen, dude. Congrats! So excited for you. I'm so glad this album's here. It's always good. I swear I'm gonna get you in the studio one day. We gotta.
I know one day we'll do something in person.
I think we're neighbors. You're like right down the street, but one day we'll do it. So thanks for
Exactly.
the time and thanks for doing this Audacy check-in. We always appreciate it.
I appreciate all y'all. I really,
Perfect.
really do. Thank you.